Hello, everyone. So we'll pass through the trends we see in our companies. So my name is Adrien. I'm European patent attorney and the head of the IP startup and innovation team at AGC. AGC is one of the largest glass maker in the world. So I pointed out 4 trends. The first one is the impact of the technology with the software invention, the Abe's word, and based on this new product, we have more complex FTOs. The second trend is about the geopolitical situation, how to manage the portfolio in Russia for the moment, for example. And we see a lot of IP generation from China or Chinese company at least. And this is more complex also for the FTOs. The third one is the pandemic. AGC need to stop some, it's difficult to stop furnaces of the glass. So we try to find new way for selling products or new business models. So IP team adapted to this new way of sailing. And the last one, it's not on the current trend, but it's a missing one, as the previous group said, is about the sustainability. Due to the sustainability, AGC developed new technology, new zero to CO2 glass, for example, vacuum glazing or using more recycled material. And then we have an increase of IP rights and also partnership that could be a cooperation and also competitors, so competition, as we can say. So I'll let the floor to NS to explain for his company.
Thank you, Adrian. Hi, it is NS. I would like to introduce myself, but time is running out. So I found 3 relevant trends in the trend monitor document. Firstly, remote working becoming more and more common in Turkey, additionally on IP. First, since 2020, Turkish courts adopted e-trails and e-mediator systems. So whenever have a trail execution regarding IP, whatever, we are able to demand to our trail via internet. That's a huge thing. As you might guess, it is easier to manage court procedures more than ever, and Turkish Patent Office adopted the same policy that we can manage every operation remotely and rapidly. And also, people lose the mental barrier for working in foreign companies since they don't have to leave their country. They don't have to get used to new culture. So genuinely, I can say in our company, we have more than ever intercultural environment. Secondly, IP plays crucial role in recovery from COVID-19. In our company, there is an increased amount of IP assets, more than this according to Turkish Patent Office. In every IP assets, there is a dramatic increase. As you can see, after COVID-19, design application rose up 40% in 2021. Then again, it increased 31% in 2022. In my opinion, some of those applications not offer any benefits for product and users, but so many applications want to increase their number of intangible assets, even though they don't know so many things about how they can use a appropriate way. So, Karim.
I am Karim. I am a European patent attorney, and I work as IP manager at FIV. So FIV is an engineering group which supplies machines to several types of industries like cement, automotive, and intralogistics. So the trends I see from my point of view in the patent department, the most important ones are first, a high impact of technology change, namely around e-mobility, like developments around batteries for electrical vehicles, hydrogen with applications to cryogenics and automotive, And of course, more and more software inventions, and more recently, an increasing interest to artificial intelligence. So all this brings us to work more about the FTOs, patent landscape analysis, and discuss more strategies of patenting and trademarking. And the second one is the promotion of sustainability. FIV develops a lot of solutions around solutions with low impact on the environment. Of course, there is e-mobility and hydrogen, but also recycling of cement, for example, and burners with lower emissions. And this induce an increase of patent filings around this invention. And the third trend is the impact of geopolitical development, namely the situation in Russia. So we had the question about to keep or not to keep the patents in Russia, and how we manage to keep paying the maintenance fees. And next one is Sophia.
So good morning. My name is Sofia Kalav. I am the lead privacy counsel for Cloudflare. Cloudflare is an American company that provides network and application security and performance solutions, and also cloud storage products. And these are the trends I see currently in my company. So first of all, different companies are looking for cloud products in order to store their data sets for artificial intelligence development. And it's important for them, for example, to have backups for their data and eventually to find solutions without egress fees so they can migrate their data freely. They also need edge computing to perform their inferences faster and faster. Regarding creations, we see other companies, for example, worried about web scraping. So they look for bot management, for example. Also, in terms of like attacks, DDoS attacks, it's important for them to ensure that artificial intelligence creations are not able to create content that gives a rise to phishing or other types of attacks. So they look for firewalls or other types of cybersecurity solutions. And finally, they keep thinking about what open source models could mean for the development of potential products. We have a developers platform that has large language models available for their development, but they need to understand what are the implications in terms of licensing when they're using open source models. On the other end, we have a very interconnected network. We serve around 20% of the world web properties, and we see this trend in terms of data localization. So more and more countries are asking for the localization of certain data within their borders. And this means, for example, that you have to have local servers. Also, you have to limit the decryption inside certain geographical areas, for example, Russia or China. In terms of patents, we have an interesting case around fighting against patent trolls. We have even a project where we try to raise awareness and to gather evidence in terms of what this patent troll activity means. And finally, in terms of future of work, we have what is called zero trust solutions. So we try to ensure the corporate network and to be able to prevent that information gets out of that local network. And I now give the floor to Urvashi.
Thank you, Sophia. Hello, everyone. I'm Urvashi Sata. I work at Dividag as an IP manager. The trends that I see in my industry, and especially at my company, are to do with additive manufacturing. This is 3D printing, not just for cement or concrete projects, but also in terms of designing of post-tensioning bridges. So the complex designs are made easier. It's also very quick and efficient way of implementing a project. There is a significant reduction of wastage of resources. So this leads to a sustainable aspect of additive manufacturing as well. The other trend I see is the impact of geopolitical conflicts, especially the crisis in the Middle East and, the closure of our business entity in Russia. So these decisions are obviously taken by the country or the government of that country, but it also directly impacts the businesses, the local businesses there. Because of conflicts, there is also a financial volatility in the market, and there is a rise in interest rate with inflation, which makes borrowing for businesses expensive. And so there is a cash flow crunch. Other thing we observe is the threat of cyber attacks as well as data breach. There has been a significant increase in cyber attacks from companies or individuals based in Russia. And this has led to an exposed IP risk. Not only your project data gets compromised, but also, your trade secrets also get leaked. The third trend I observe is on infrastructure intelligence. The lifespan management becomes much easier when there is remote monitoring, where smart sensors are installed, there's robotics, digital twin. So the project manager does not have to be on site to monitor everything. A defect can also be remedied remotely. So it is giving real-time comprehensive analytics, and there is ease of operations with higher time and cost efficiency. So with that, we move on to task 2. So for this exercise, what we did was we read the article on trends, and we weighed individually from a relevance scale of 1 to 5, and then the average was taken. So to summarize the group background, we are from different industries, sectors, manufacturing, construction, engineering, IT, and infrastructure, from small to medium-sized to large entities. For the exercise, the methodology that we implemented here was relevancy from 1 to 5 and a time span from 1 year to 5 years. So if we go to the radar, the trend radar, there are concentric semicircles with the innermost circle, meaning that this is the trend category with the least time span in years. So that means that this is imminent in application, or it's about to peak. Whereas the last concentric circle will have, the time span of 5 years. So this is the time scale that we took from 1 to 5 years. Now, to categories people, the highest value was given to fight for know-how with an average of 3.8. And the time span, like this is imminent. For technology, it is artificial intelligence. The highest value was almost 5. So this is very relevant, highly relevant, and it is also imminent. The least was immersive technology for us. Moving on to the other categories. Regulatory IP framework, where interoperability standard licensing, the average being 5 and the time span within 2 years, we see a lot of activity in that area. Moving on to the category business economics, IP and business ecosystem, as we have experienced also in the presentations by Dr. Alex. So this is very relevant trend in all of our industry sectors within the time span, like from now till it would continue forever, I believe, till the businesses last. moving on to the next slide, please. So the missing trend, according to me, that was missing in the radar that I found, an interesting one, was the World Trade Organization's TRIPS agreement waiver. So this decision was taken on 17th June 2022, which allowed least developed countries to manufacture COVID vaccines locally without the consent of the patent holder. And they could also export it if they wanted, if there was a need. So for me, this sets as a precedent for fighting epidemics in future, where developing countries or least developed countries are given an opportunity to not rely on consent of the patent holder. So currently discussions are underway for a possible extension of this vaccine waiver to maybe diagnostics and therapeutics, such as remdesivir or oral medical applications fighting the COVID virus, the coronavirus. With that, I would like to...
As a missing trend, I would like to, I observed globalization of IP. Why this trend triggered is concerns were raised about the role of consumers in driving demands for counterfeit products. The counterfeit products produced majorly in some countries such as Turkey, etc. But the determination of supply chain plays key role for prevent the counterfeit products. For example, if you already know the vessel leave from Turkey and it will arrive to Mexico, you can use criminal enforcement tools such as police or customs, etc. Every day, 3,500 commercial trucks cross Bulgarian Turkish border. So our IP assets and rights not anymore local or country based. Customs cannot able to check every single truck. So know-how, regulation, and collaboration plays crucial role for prevent counterfeits. It is crucial to extend European legal perspective on IP property, I think, to developing in the developing countries, training customs employees and reinforcing company confidence in international trade are key steps in the process, ensuring that innovations and creation are protected globally. Adrian?
Another missing trend is the sustainability. As another group presented already, the sustainability. I want to say that maybe the IP challenge linked to the sustainability should be the balance IP protection and the access of the technologies. We can imagine patent pools, compulsory licensing, technology transfer, but also let's assume what could be the future if the WIPO extend the waiver to this sustainability IP rights. And another challenge could be the open innovation versus the right for the property to keep the information and the technology and the fear to lose a competitive advantage. So that's the two main challenges, I think, for the sustainability. And I let the floor to Karim about the quantum computing.
So in this trend, quantum computing is of course considered as the next breakthrough technology, and there is a rise in the world to who masters this technology. To make it simpler, quantum computing is the use of principles of quantum physics to perform calculations that are very complex and take a huge time to classical computers. So these quantum computers may have problems in several fields like cryptography, chemistry, physics, and artificial intelligence. And the related IP issues are the licensing of this technology, because patents are being filed, and there is a risk that create an anti-competitive environment. And the other issue is coping with national security concerns, which is explained by the race of different nations to master this technology. And also there is a problem on how to protect quantum algorithms. And the next is Sophia, sorry.
So our last missing trend has actually to do with cybersecurity. So currently, it's really important that we try to protect the information, the documentation related to our intangible assets with cyber security solutions that prevent any stealing of those digital assets. So, and we need to balance that with what is also important in terms of internet openness. But we believe this is a very important trend, also taking into account the amount of cyber attacks that have been happening currently and that will increase in the future. Thank you so much for staying with us during 15 minutes.